Hello guys. Today, this is not really a lesson. It's well, I'm not after this video, I'm not really going to be posting any more scratch lessons anymore. Although though I will though post scratch tutorials, not lessons, or like if I want to share about some tips about Scratch, I will share those. I will not be teaching any lessons after this video. So yeah, you can say that this is the conclusion to all these lessons, and I want to end it off by making a three-dimensional cube. Yeah, with the pen extension. Well, you know how to make a square, right? You just get the green flag and put this in the forever loop. Don't forget to put the erase block, pen down, and set the go-to block. And set the go-to blocks there. We'll just set, the Vegas square, right? You just go. The y position will be the same. The y position will not be the same. We'll go. Then it's pretty easy, right? You change x. You change your -10 to change x by 10. Then you do the opposite. Don't forget to put the pen. Don't forget to put this in the forever loop. And yo, look, we've made a tiny square. Let's make it bigger so that we can see it. There we go. Okay. Now, in this episode, we'll make a 3D cube that can move that can move. Well, technically, our camera is the one that's moving, not the cube, and the perspective will change. What if I want this cube to move? Okay. I'll just get a go to mouse pointer block. And oh yeah. Well, okay, this method does work though, but it creates a lot of clones. So we want to put that erase all in here. And there we go. But there's a slight error. There is a tail sticking out somehow. There's a squiggly little line sticking out. We don't want. Well, we can't really fix that normally using this. We need to set. We need the go to X blocks. For that, we'll create a block for now called go to X. Go to X. Go to X. The X position. Then Y. And the Y position. Input the input value, Y position. Those will be assets, so now we can get those blocks out and go. I'm gonna place 4 blocks here, and in our custom block, we'll just say go to X, the X, and Y. So go to X. I forgot. We need to also make this run without screen refresh. We want this to be very fast. There's originally a position at 0, 0, 0, so So yeah, we'll then set this to 20, for example, y negative 20 for that, and now we've made them. And then set this to 0. We'll just go with negative 20. Then for this, doing some other and a little bit of like 17 later. You delete this now. And we just need to shift some box and like that we almost made our cube. No, we almost made our square. Now we just need to fix a little bit of our code. And there we go. We've made our square. Looks like we got the most money. Yeah, no, we can't simply go. Well, no, we can't simply just go. We can't simply just use the go to mouse pointer block. No. We instead need to say the code. We need to put the actual coordinates in here to add with this. So in the variables, we need to make a block, camx for short. We want this will be the cube's x coordinate, and for the y, we'll just say cam y. So cam y for this right only. This will be our y. Sorry, I spelled the name wrong. And these cam x and cam y will be our x and y positions. We'll make them sliders so we can change them like this. We want this to have a range of -100 to 100, so it could go backwards. Just like that. We also want the cam y also to be -100 too. Okay, my bad. We want this. At first, we'll just set them to 0. So we'll just set them. So set cam x to 0, cam y to 0, cam y to 0, and just green flag click. So in this input x, we'll also add plus cam x. This will move the square of the x position. So we had x coordinate. Then we'll add the y with our y coordinates, cam y. And yeah, now our square is now easily moving. It moves upward when we set the cam y up greater than 0, when cam y is greater than 0, but when it is less than 0, it goes down. And for cam x, it's basically the same thing, but there's one slight issue. There's this dot as well, squiggling like this. We don't want that. So in this, we're moving it. For first, we'll just say go to x0, comma 0, set manually. Okay, do it like that. And down here, we want to fix that issue. We'll just go in the bottom. We'll go pen up, the go pen up, it's one of the sites, so there it is. You put one of these. Another issue. We set at 20. Now we're just making a shape pen. Yeah, right. We'll just do some. We'll just do some magic. Wait. Wait, you don't copy the code yet? No? Don't copy the code yet, please. I'm just trying to fix some issues here. Doing some little trial and error. And yeah, there we go. We need the coordinates of this needed to be exact, and that's how I fix it. But if you find another solution, you can send it in the comments below. So we've now made a square that can move. But what if we wanted to zoom into the square? What if we want to zoom into the square? So okay, before we make the cube, we need to also be able to zoom in or zoom out. That in order to zoom in, we need to get closer to the square. If we want to zoom out, we need to get we want to go further from the square. So we're now looking at the two-dimensional version of the square. That is we have an x and y coordinate, but in 3 dimensions. But for 3-dimensional, there's one extra coordinate that controls how far, that controls how big or small the object is depending on the distance from it. And that's the z coordinate. What's the z coordinate, you ask? Well, I've already mentioned before, way before. Makes an object smaller depending on the how far we're looking at. For example, if we're zooming in, that means we're decreasing the z value. So that means the object will get bigger. However, if the z coordinate is bigger, and so we're getting further from the object, so the object will look smaller. Let's add that z coordinate into our go to x and y. We'll edit this, and we'll get the label. Put a new label, the z coordinate. We'll just set it to the default value. I just set the default value. So if we're getting smaller, we don't want to multiply, but we want to divide. So get this divide. So get a divide block here. Trusty divide. Then we'll divide with z. Oh yeah, forgot to mention. We must also make a variable called camz, just like how we made camx and camz. Just like how we made camx and phy and make those functions, and just like camx and camy, camz will also be a slider which will go from 0 to 100. Well, 0 is our default. We'll change the slider range. We'll check in the slider range, that is. So now we have our camz variable, so we'll divide both sides by camz will. We're going to both divide x plus camx and y plus camy with camz. That is what I mean, okay? Got that? Oh yeah, to make this value useful, we'll also add it to our camz, okay? So z is the that's what makes a cube smaller. The camz is the z coordinate for our cube, just like the camx and camy just like how the camx and camy function as the x and y positions of a cube in a 2D space. Get the plus c plus camz. Duplicate that. Now z is 0, right? Oh yeah, it's getting smaller. Okay, way too small. I want to make it smaller instead. I want to make the how much it is getting shorter. We want to decrease that. Well, that's easy. You just multiply it with 0.01. You will multiply this on the cam. Go at this. Multiply with 0.01. That should decrease it. That should decrease it. That should decrease it. So yeah, no, you actually have to divide the z coordinate. That's a mistake I made. While I was actually testing. You don't want to put the z plus camz in the 0.0. You just want to multiply the camz only. Yeah. That should make how much it is how much smaller is getting, well, how much smaller the object is getting as the z value as the camz value increases by a lot. The 0.01. Well, I'll just make our square a bit bigger. A bit bigger. You can also do that too if you want. But if you like the default size, you don't need to. And yep, looks like a charm. Well, if you want to change the amount, well, you can just do this 0.1 and 0.1. Okay, this should be decimal, and look, it's getting shorter. Okay, now we're to recap now. We're able to make our square move, increase in size, Now it's time for the fun part. This step is where we're going to actually make the cube. We're going to actually make the cube. So, well, here goes. We're going to have to make a smaller square. So, we'll just put Z2. Okay, that works, but there is a pretty incriminating dot. So, at the start, we'll just get 2 here. No. This will make it smaller. Well, you can wait. Okay. You can wait, okay, while I will find some corn. You can wait. Well, I don't know how to edit this part, so you can take a break. And I'll notify you when I'm finished. Okay, when I'm finished. I'll notify you, okay, when I'm finished. So yeah, I'm kind of experimenting, just using trial and error to find the cube, to find the area, to connect the small square with the points to the big square. And it's still a work in progress. And now we just need 2 sides to finish our cube. There we go. 1 side left. I hope you're not bored. I know you're bored out, and I know this can be quite boring, but hey, the programmer has to do his job, and finding bugs and fixing them. And there we go. We've made our cube. Dude, man. We've made our cube. We can drag it and change its perspective. Okay, but okay, well, you think this is it, but no. We also want to add something called field of view. So what is field of view? Well, it's basically how much you can see, how much objects you can see in your in your vision. Like a larger field of view, mean you would see more objects in your environment. A smaller field of view, meaning you're going to see less objects in your environment. In this case, the field of view will act somewhat like somewhat like the cam Z, somewhat like our act somewhat like our Z position, and it makes our transition more smoother. Yeah, I don't like the chunks of this happening, so yeah, we'll let that. Just call it FOV for short. Well, FOV stands for field of view. We'll also make this a slider variable, just like the rest. You probably get the point. We just want to experiment. We just like to experiment on this. We're going to multiply both sides by our FOV, but the FOV will be shortened if we multiply that by 0.05. This will make it very short, and will make how much our cube gets smaller very subtle. At this point, like you think, at this point, we're almost done. We just need to run a project to see if it works. And yeah, if you get closer. Okay, maybe I should set it the maximum of 15. Higher field. Now well, this is a lower field of view. Oh, this is actually higher field of view. This is higher field of view, but when it gets lower, you actually see more objects. Like imagine there are objects here on the stage. You'd see more of them. But they look less smaller because of their Z position. However, if we look closer, well, now we can see most of the cube, but we won't see most of the objects. Most of the objects that are blocked by this cube. Well, for now we can see like really the cube isn't really blocking anything though, because we actually added the objects yet. We won't add them in this episode, but maybe I probably will. I probably will in the next episode. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode and got to know some of the basic concepts and three of rendering two-dimensional objects in game engines like this. I hope you like and subscribe. It really helps me a lot. It really helps me a lot, and so to deliver content like this. So yeah, see you in the next episode.